All right, so Sam Wilson's about to rebrand, going from the Falcon to Captain America. You know what we gonna rebrand to? It's no longer what had happened was. We're just gonna run it back.
Run it back. We're gonna run back. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Run it back. Run it back.
Just play the music. What's really good, guys? It's your boy Menace, aka D-Man. Your Menace here on my sister, my day one, the one who holds it down for me, my co-host Daria. Say what's up, Daria?
What's up, Daria?
And welcome to us running it back. See, it's better than what had happened once. Now we're just running it back. We're going to do a recap of the first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But before we get started, you know what you got to do. Go ahead, subscribe to us, hit the little bell icon so you get notifications for every video that we do, ranging from movies to video games to wrestling. Also, liking the content that you do enjoy. And comment down below because we do like to hear from you, and it does help the little algorithm bump. Let's get it going. So, I don't think we're going to be getting the same level of speculation and dissection that we did from WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No.
I'm not saying that there's not going to be some Easter eggs. I'm not saying that there's not going to be some little hidden insides and the like here and there. But I don't think that this show is going to lend itself so much to the same level of what's going on, because we already know what's happening. Mm-hmm. Like when it came down to WandaVision, we're like, why is she here? There's so much mystery surrounding it. Yeah. When it comes down to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we already know the fight and the issues that Falcon and Bucky are having right now. And the little bit of intrigue that's there is more just like, you know, the usual action movie tropes. And I don't think we're going to have that same level of just like, is it Mephisto? Who's behind this? Was it Agatha all along? We're not going to have the same level of stuff.
No, because we got a lot of that. With, you know, because Black Panther kind of spoiled it. Not Winter Soldiers, Endgame.
Wait, how did Black Panther spoil it?
Well, with Bucky at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with Bucky at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we already know what happened.
Yeah.
You know, prior to the blip. And then they got blipped out of existence and blipped back into existence. But really, this movie, Jesus Christ, this show is once again following Sam Wilson, Captain America, or Falcon, because he is not taking up the mantle, at least not yet, of Captain America. He still wants to. He's still doing his thing where he is a part of the Air Force, running these missions for the United States government, behind enemy lines, the whole nine. That's how we basically start off with this episode with, I have to admit, a very fun action sequence. One of the things that I thought about WandaVision is, and that's mainly because action wasn't as important, is the action was like one of the weakest parts in there for that whole series. Because again, as I said, the action was not the focal point. With this one, they definitely hit it out of the park with that first sequence with, I want to say like French nationals trying to steal an Air Force pilot from a plane, and like so much of it was like, it hit the suspense, it hit the action, it was perfect. When it comes down to Bucky is trying to figure out how to make amends. He's been pardoned, but he still has to make amends for his own his own mental well-being. Yes. Yeah, that's the most important part that we have. And I think those are really just going to set the tone for
the season, I think.
Yeah, the whole series right there. Because it's going to be Sam trying to find his place back into the world. Because like he literally, after he gets blipped back into existence, fights Thanos, and we're like months later, and now like where does he fit in with his family structure? With the world at large, and Bucky's trying to figure out where he fits in with the world at large as well, because he still has the memories of what he did while under Hydra's command. Right. Yeah. And I think that's going to be the thing that might make this one of my more favorite things, because I don't care, like, as much as I did just say that the action was good, I don't care about the action. I want to see Sam Wilson argue with his sister about the family boat. Because
that was the best. That was the best scene through that episode. Because I was like, whoa, we are getting some story, we're getting some backline, we're getting some conflict. The action was cool in the beginning. I did like it. It really was. I mean, he really messed some people up.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'm actually kind of mad. I'm back because there was a part during one of the sequences where he jumps out of a plane and he yanks somebody's parachute and they go get rocketed up. Right. Like, oh, I'm gonna be safe now. But everybody else is getting blown up and kicked out of choppers. And I'm sitting here like, why can't I be like that guy? If I'm falling to my death, I'm gonna be looking up to my friend who's just floating, just like, well, at least I ain't dead. I'm gonna be like, fuck you, dude.
Exactly.
How you gonna sit here and throw me out of the chopper?
Or at the scene where he grabs the guy from the chopper and the chopper blows up and he still lets the guy go. I'm like, why the hell you didn't just leave him in the chopper then?
Yeah, like
just leave him. He's gonna die anyways if you were just gonna drop him. Like, just leave him in there.
He did do dirty.
That was
how you gonna grappling hook somebody out of a chopper to fall to their death?
Yeah.
When you could have just left them in there to blow. Like, I mean, give me the explosion. That's instantaneous or close to it.
I'm just gonna die thinking like, dude.
500-foot drop down a cliff face.
Because I'm gonna look at you and be like, dude, that was fucked up.
Like, how
you could have just left me in there.
Like, how dare you?
So yes, the action sequence was very nice, very entertaining, choreographed very well. Yes, had a lot of intrigue, but I agree with you. Yeah, I prefer the conflict. Even at the end, when we got the end, because I know I definitely at the end I was like, who the hell is that?
You know, I don't even think we have to worry about spoilers because like it's not even like a story conflict as much because you already see it. It's already been plastered all over social media and the like.
I don't even think it's a new story, right?
I mean, I don't know about that, but what basically ends up happening is, as we said, Falcon, Sam Wilson decides, you know what, I don't want to be Captain America. That's not my man to take. We already found that out at the end of Endgame, where he's like, I don't feel like I deserve the shield, and he, continues it on, puts it in a museum, and Rhodey is there talking with him about it. It's like, why don't you take up the shield? And he's like, nah, it's not me. And like, I get that where you have that feeling of like, where you feel like whatever accolade you get is undeserved, passed down, and that imposter syndrome like really takes over. And instead he's just like, I'm just gonna be the Falcon. I am gonna be the Falcon. But in the end, like his attempt to sacrifice and kowtow to what he feels is right in that moment is not reciprocated by the world at large because they immediately found somebody to replace him. Yeah. And I'm sorry, Future D, go ahead and put that up. Like that dude right there looks like one of those covered high school kids. Like, I think they called him MAGA Cap.
I think they did, because I was like, the hell is that?
I was sitting here like, yo! Like that dude definitely would have called me a basketball American on a forum somewhere. Just like be racist as hell. Like, damn, that ain't my cap at all.
That is not my captain, my cap.
But at the same time, you gotta believe that, like, everything comes back, not to normal, but everything comes back 5 years later after the blip. People are coming right back. And for a fact that if Sam decided, frick it, I'm Captain America, they would have been like roasted his ass all over Twitter. No, Steve Rogers, my captain.
Yeah.
That ain't my hashtag, not my cap. I'm like, yeah, you would have been hit like that by a bunch of chuds.
Yeah.
But like, that's going to be what it is moving forward. It's like, okay, you took it upon yourself to be like, no, I don't think I deserve this mantle, this ranking right here. I'm just gonna be doing what I do, and they're just like, okay, we're just gonna throw it to somebody. And I'm like, what are his accolades? Like, at least I helped defeat Thanos. Where was this motherfucker?
Well, at least at the beginning of the show, I was flying and killing people.
Yeah,
so it's like, what did you do?
It's like, what was this dude?
What did you do today?
Is this dude just like some mediocre dude? Just like popped in. It's like, okay, here. Did he get the serum?
No.
Did he get the serum?
I don't know.
What's going on with that?
I don't know.
But like, yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of that going on, especially like the part where they're trying to get a loan to save the boat.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard to see anybody like commentate on this the same way that they were commentating on WandaVision, and like to try to divorce the narrative from the fact that it is a woman being basically having her trauma and grief gaslit by people who claim to love her or claim to take care of her, but instead just want to be abusive as hell when it comes down to it. But like, you can't divorce that narrative from WandaVision the same way that you can't divorce the narrative of just the way, you know, Black people would be, you know, treated when it comes down to the financial institutions, the way that they are just discriminated against when it comes down to, trying to get a loan. It's like, where's your income been for the past 5 years? Like, motherfucker, I've been blipped.
Right.
The hell? Like, how am I supposed to have income?
Yeah.
Especially considering the fact that also, how the hell is Tony Stark not putting these people on the payroll?
That's another thing.
How you not gonna put the people on the payroll?
That's another thing, Tony Stark, and you did. I don't appreciate that.
It's like, yo,
at least put me in your will.
All that wealth.
Yes.
With an F. Wealth. All that wealth. And Sam's in here going to a freaking loan officer? Loan adjuster?
Yeah, at least just put my black ass on the wheel so I can get something.
You telling me that you couldn't float a couple $100,000?
I'm just saying.
Motherfucker, are you serious?
I'm just saying.
Like how is that a thing? It's like there is no coin in being a hero. No. There is no guap that you're gonna get for being a hero, because like either you already rich, a la Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark, or you're gonna have this level of like, no, I can't take your money, like you're Peter Parker. Like there is no in between. Like you can't, like, especially if you don't want everybody to know your secret identity, at least when it comes to Parker.
Right.
But like, how you just not gonna float like a couple hundred? Your boy Falcon's way. Like, saying, damn, put some motherfuckers. Put the Avengers on the payroll.
I did, like you said, I did help defeat Thanos. I buried your ass. You couldn't at least just, you know,
I bet,
somewhere.
I bet you New Cap is getting paid.
Well,
I bet you New Cap is getting paid. It don't matter. I bet you New Cap is getting paid.
Probably, but again, it's not.
Run those coins. We've been talking all about Sam, but like Bucky's story is just as compelling.
Yes, it is.
Because it's basically heavily implied, or actually, you know, told. But like, you know, he's trying to live a normal life. He doesn't have any friends. He's not like hooking up with anybody. Really, he's just trying to make amends. And some of these people he's making amends with are people who Hydra has, you know, snatched up into their web of lies, put them in positions of power for, you know, furthering their agenda. And sometimes they abuse that power, and he's like, you know, I'm gonna find a way to make it work, and get you guys yeet you guys out of power. And like, I love that aspect of it. I also love the fact that, you know, we get to see just how ruthless he was as the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
And I hope to see a lot more of those flashbacks, just to kind of paint a picture, just to be like, okay, it wasn't just Tony Stark's parents.
No.
It was like a bunch of people who he's left behind, a litany of widows, of grieving parents, of siblings, of just a bunch of bodies that you have completely severed their whole familial ties, because you just had to get the job done, and you had to do so emotionlessly. And it feels like you're trapped in this body, just forced to watch your body do these things.
Yeah. And
you know you're not in control, but you still have to make amends for it.
Right.
And that's gonna be a tough thing to try to watch, because you know there's gonna be some instances where Bucky is like, you know, trying to make amends. Somebody's not gonna forgive him. And they don't have to forgive him.
No, they don't.
And that's one of the things when it comes down to an apology. Whenever you do something wrong, even if you felt like you were not in charge of it, like you cannot invalidate the lack of an apology's acceptance.
Right.
When it comes down to somebody, especially when you've done something as heinous as, like, you know, ending another person's life.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It is. That's true.
But the first episode, I liked it. It didn't blow me away, but it intrigued me. It was fun. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
I think what it did was it just set up the first focal point of what the rest of the series will be like.
Yeah.
So it didn't bother me at all.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah. I know it might have seemed kind of slow sometimes, but I just felt like they were building up the storyline.
Yeah. I'm definitely with it taking its time. You know, I think they have like 7 episodes instead of the 9. They need to have like that episode 4 intro where like it blows you the fudge away.
Yeah.
Like where Rambo, like, you know, dusted back into existence in the chaos of the hospital. Just really put everything into perspective. There needs to be something, not that specific scene, but like something that really hits you in the chest where it's just like, holy crap, the gravity of the situation that was not conveyed in the movies. Because I'm not gonna lie, these two series, I kind of like them a little bit more than the movies at this point.
Yeah.
I like them a little bit more than the movies at the moment.
Yeah.
Because like they're giving me much more context. They're letting me exist within the world where I don't have to worry too much about, okay, we got to move on to the next plot point with an explosion out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So like I'm liking these. Give me more series like this. I can't wait for Loki.
I can't either.
Is there another series coming out?
Yeah. What If?
Oh yeah, the What If. I can't wait for What If. Give me all of that right there. I'm down for it. But that's basically what happened down on the first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. What are your ending thoughts on that?
I am excited. I want to see what more they're going to tell us. Like, this is actually giving Falcon a story. Yeah. This is giving Falcon a story. This is giving us his tug of, I'm not worthy, but I'm ready. Yeah,
he's more worthy. He's more worried about being worthy to the family than he is about being worthy to the mantle. But you definitely are going to anticipate there's going to be some. You can't get away from it. There is going to be some racial component when it comes down to him making the decision and being so easily replaced, especially by somebody who's like a rando. And I'm like, they're like, who is that guy? Yeah. There's going to definitely be some point to it, especially there's going to be some turning point where he's like, I was expecting my next captain to be black. Yeah. And it's like, okay, so this is going to happen. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of want to see the face of that because we've already seen one black captain. I want to say Isaiah Wilson. I can't remember the dude's name. But yeah, this was all the way back, like Project Rejuvenation, I think it was called.
From Marvel?
Yeah. Okay. It was a book from Marvel. I read it like a couple years ago when somebody recommended it to me during Black Comics Month. And I fell in love with it. That's when I realized, there's much more than just what we're seeing in the MCU. And I kind of hope that they touch on that within this series. So I can't wait for that. But anyway, I know we've been rambling a long time because we're having fun with this. We're having some fun with this. Yeah. Anyway, let us know what you thought about the first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier down in the comments below, because again, we would like to hear from you, HEELKAIJU faithful. Also, head on over to patreon.com/HEELKAIJU where you get updates on the site, the store, and the channel. Also become a patron and help support this channel. You can even get some exclusive merch codes. And where can they use those merch codes, Zay?
Head on over to HEELKAIJU.com/shop where you can get all the fabulous merch.
Yeah, merch. Go ahead and snag you some, because we do got some new designs dropping.
Coming to you in April.
Sometime in April. I don't want to put a timeline on it.
But in April.
Because we got to get our ducks in a row, but it is coming in April. So go ahead, snag you something there. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It will catch you when we run it back again. Deuces.
Bye.